ask a question. When you look at me, what do you see? You can answer, it's fine.
Really cool person.
Two, actually. Well, for a start, you can see I'm a girl. My name is Tahel. I'm 16 and a half years old, and I live in the center of Israel. And in many ways, I'm just like you. I like to sing and dance. I go to the gym. I love running. I enjoy the social media, and my Instagram profile is really active. I have more than 1,600 followers. I have an amazing family, 2 older brothers and sister, and 1 younger sister. I have an amazing mom who's always supportive of me. She basically raised us by herself because my dad left us when I was 10. And since then, we have no connection. So you see, in many ways, I'm just like you, but I'm not like you. When I was 9 years old, a week before Hanukkah holiday, I started to feel sick. I ran out to the bathroom. I was really thirsty, so I drank a lot of water. I was very pale, and my skin tone became yellow. I kept feeling hungry, but I threw up all the time. This went on for a week, so my father took me to the doctor. She gave me a full checkup and asked to smell my breath. I noticed that she had a really worried look in her eyes. She immediately sent me for a blood test in the next room. 420. I will never forget this number. When I came back to the doctor's office, she told me my blood sugar level was 420. She told my dad, "There is no time to lose. You have to rush to the ER." We picked up my mom, and she sat with me in the back seat, as my father drove as fast as he could. My mom kept asking me questions like, "What did you eat today? Who did you play with? Did you finish your homework?" Later, I understood that she just trying to keep me awake. When we arrived to the emergency room, I couldn't even stand. My mom was holding me in her arms. Then, I fainted. The next thing I remember was waking up in a hospital bed with my mother and father standing next to me, talking to the nurse. The doctor came inside the room and said she had the bad news. "Your daughter has type 1 diabetes. There is nothing you could have done to prevent it. It's incurable and very difficult to handle." This was the point in my life, as I knew it was over. Even though I didn't realize it at the same time, but things would never be the same. My mom started to cry. It never seems to stop. I realized how much she cared and loved me. On Wednesday night, December 21st, 2011, a 9-year-old girl who had lived a normal life left the hospital sick, broken, and weak, not knowing what life is in store for her. Type 1 diabetes is a chronic disease. But for me, Tahel, a 9-year-old girl, it meant I had to think about what I can and cannot eat and how much I can eat. It also meant I had to learn how to inject myself with insulin and how to check my blood sugar level constantly. Today, I'm connected to a small pump that is connected to my body. It's a machine that tests my sugar level, my blood sugar level, and injects me with insulin 24/7 as needed. 24/7 sound complicated? Well, let me explain it to you with numbers. I was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 9. I stab myself 12 times a day. And I also connect an external tube to my body twice a week. And I also connect a sensor pipe every week, so it will read my blood sugar level. That means 87 needle pricks every week. 52 weeks in a year, so that brings it to 4,524 in a year. And a total of 31,668 injections since I was 9. And that number grows with every day that passes. But who's counting, right? And that's only half of the story, the physical side. No one prepared me for the social humiliation. At school, they teased me. They teased me in my face, and behind my back, they called me the girl with the machine. During recess, between lessons, they ran after me, trying to touch my insulin pump. I would often go home crying. When I walked down the street, people always stared at my insulin pump. I felt hurt, sad, and ashamed of my disease. As hard as I tried, I could not avoid those negative feelings. I was the girl with the needles, the girl who's different from everybody, the girl who has a disease, the girl who is a disease. As if dealing with the diabetes wasn't traumatic enough, at the age of 10, my parents got divorced. The last time I saw my dad, 6 years ago, he told me, "From now on, you will be all alone in this world." The breakup of my family was hard to take. And it also affected my health. Because of all the emotional stress, I neglected my disease treatment. I decided to hide the fact that I didn't take care of myself. So, I lied to my mother. I told her I'm doing the insulin shots and that my blood sugar level is good. I thought that if I will ignore the disease, it would just go away. But of course it didn't go away. It only got worse. My kidneys was hurting because of all the excess sugar in the body. Even though I knew my family loved me, I felt I was screaming and no one was listening, that no one was seeing me. One day, at a routine checkup at a diabetic clinic in the hospital, I saw an ad on the bulletin board. It was for some place called the Jordan River Village, inviting sick children for a 5-day vacation, and it was completely free. I don't know why, but I just felt I had to go. And I knew that my family will never be able to afford it if we had to pay. A few weeks later, I got on the bus on my way to the Jordan River Village. I didn't know what to expect, and I had no way of knowing that once again, my life was about to change. But this time, for better. From the moment the bus arrived, I knew this was going to be special. We were greeted by volunteer counselors with music and big smiles. I met other children around my age with the same disease, and no one was different. The village offered us so many different activities, suitable for everyone. I was able to collect unforgettable experiences. There were interesting group activities. games, challenges, art, and craft to recreational activities. I felt I was safe there. I felt that the emphasis was on me and not on my illness. One of my favorite activities at the village was the adventure park. I have a fear from heights since a young age, and extreme activities terrified me. When I realized that I had to climb high to go up to the zip line, I refused to go up. But my favorite guide did not give up. She told me I could get her, that it was all in my head. So in the end, I listened to her and went with her, hand in hand. When I got down, I knew it was worth it. From all the amazing things that happened over the 5 days I spent at the village, the most significant moment I had, the most life-changing moment I had, was a conversation with Jeannie, one of the counselors. Jeannie, one of the counselors, was the closest to me there. One day, I sat with her for an hour. At first, we talked about her and her life, also about difficulties in life, and her way of coping in time of crisis. I cried. Everything I was holding inside came out. I cried rivers of water, and she understood me and unloaded what was in my heart. She listened to my pain, to my struggle, to how difficult it was for me at home and at school coping with the disease. She listened to my words, but also to my heart. Finally, I felt somebody was hearing my scream that no one else heard. The Jeannie could really see me. It was that moment I had come back to life, and my life changed again. But as I said, this time for better. My time at the village changed me for life. I can even say it saved my life. I took responsibility over my diabetes and never neglected my disease treatment since. I understood I need to be healthy if I want to survive, that my life is precious, that I want to live. But not just that. Because the village gave me so much, I decided that it was my turn to give back and pay it forward. So, I joined Cramble's Wings Youth Movement, which is a unique Israeli project that helps children with disabilities. I volunteer with a kid named Omri, who is in a wheelchair. Omri is in a wheelchair because of his illness, and he's also blind in one eye. Omri communicates in unusual ways. He can say only a few words, basically yes or no. But we did not need words to communicate. Omri could read me like an open book. When I was happy, he sang and danced with me. And when I was sad, without even saying a word, he would just hug me tight. Omri was a bright light in my life. This all happened because of my experience with Jeannie. I opened a WhatsApp group for teenagers with type 1 diabetes from all over Israel. Today, we've reached over 200 people who can talk, share, and support each other. I take part in Youth City Council of my city. I'm the deputy chairman of JDRF Israel. I'm even active in committees in the Israeli Knesset. Because my experience at Jordan River Village made me a better, happier, more optimistic, and inclusive person, many doors open to a wonderful new world. Today, I see the disease as an opportunity to live a special life. Instead of denying it, fighting it, and try to hide it, and I'll show it and market it to the world. I'm no longer afraid of it. I made it into my friend. And it is thanks to the diabetes that I am who I am today. A thought creates reality. I believe in that very strongly, because when I started to believe I will have a good future with the diabetes, I found in myself mental and physical power that could not be described in words. I see myself as an ambassador, and I feel I have a responsibility to share my story with the world and show others that they are capable too. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a role model. Even a 16 years old girl can influence and make a difference. Now, hearing my story, you know that I'm so much more than what you see on the outside. I'm full of dreams. Jordan River Village made my dream a reality. And when I started to give for myself to others, I make their dreams a reality. Now, ask yourself, what can I do to help, impact, and contribute? Well, there are many more things you can do. First, be more sensitive. The next time you see a boy or a girl with an insulin pump, you know the story behind it. Don't look at people who are different from you for whatever reason there is. Look at them as special. Don't look at them as someone to exclude, but to include. Talk to them and get to know them. Second, you can join or support a cause you believe in. You can join or support us, the Jordan River Village. It will enable more children like me to enjoy this amazing place for free. Third, you can wake up in the morning with your own dream and start something new that will make a difference in our world. There are many more things you can do, big or small, but please do something because you can make a difference. I believe every one of us has a tremendous powers that we are not even aware of. So find out what your powers are. Then, you can become the person you dream of being. Today, I can tell you I'm glad I have diabetes because it has inspired me to help others and discover my strength. That's the best feeling. I have never felt happier and healthier than I am today. So, now when you look at me, what do you see? Go down. Everybody say diabetes.